here is hero's pose. And this is what I'm noting as the difference between a hero's pose and a mountain pose. For hero's pose, set yourself all the way back in your chair. Okay, have your spine supported, have your feet flat on the ground, and have your hands right here on your thighs. We often will call this mountain if we're at the edge of our chair, but just sit up straight and tall. And this is where we can comfortably come into our class. We can close our eyes. We can come into our breath. And as you do that, I'm just going to read, and I won't read all of the descriptions, but I just really like that they're step by step. So if you guys ever wanted something like this to help you, you know, to like, I can't remember what we did, these are great. So it just says, come to rest upright on your seat with your palms resting on your knees or your thighs. Close your eyes. And if that's comfortable, go ahead and breathe deeply. Feel that breath maybe entering from your feet and traveling upward and out through your nose. And maybe breathing in through the crown of our head. And taking that breath all the way down out of our feet into the earth. And just imagine that flow from feet to crown. And crown to feet. Let's take 2 more breaths, just settling in. Settling in. And settling on or upon our chairs with consciousness, mindfulness. Letting breath be our partner in this experience. And then we're going to take ourselves a little bit closer to the edge of our chair. And again, lining up our feet parallel, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, ears. And this time, let your hands come straight down so that if you left them there that long, all the blood would pool into your fingertips. From here, feel that energy coming not from your fingers, but lifting up through your shoulders and your head and your heart. And when I say lifting up through your shoulders, that doesn't mean this. Okay, that just means bringing yourself upright a little bit here through chest and shoulders. Okay. And here we find a mountain pose according to the card. So it's a little, we've kind of done a half hero, a half mountain when we've started. Take a few more breaths here. And I'm just going to read what the card says here. Sit tall with your legs hip width apart and feet facing forward. Take your arms straight down alongside your body and imagine being a steady, strong, well-supported mountain. While you're here in mountain pose again, taking a few more breaths, just feel the slight little sway. That even in a mountain pose, there is life, there's energy, there's flow. And feel your body just taking and letting itself, all that energy within, kind of vibrate through your whole body. 2 more breaths here, and just imagining, if your eyes are closed, how aligned all of your body is right now. Beautiful, good, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and flip to the next card. Take your hands right here on your thighs or your knees We've done this before, and that's cow pose, but we're gonna hold in that cow pose. So we're start in that mountain, right? Everything's aligned. And then let your heart come forward. Maybe your gaze rises. But no need to compress into the back of your neck. We just kind of lift up through chin and your bridge of your nose. Press down here on your thighs, and that's going to take that heart up. It's going to take the shoulders and pulling them down, but letting them kind of squeeze together. Take a few breaths here. In cow pose. Let me read what the description says here. Sit at the front of your chair with your feet flat on the ground. Place your palms on your knees or thighs and take a deep breath to neutralize your spine. Then look up slightly, arch your back, and open your chest. So I like what they said. We press down to neutralize our spine, to lengthen it first. Then we come into that arch. Too often in some of the classes that I've been in, people rush through one pose to the other, and they don't spend that time neutralizing the spine in those transitions. And then bring yourself back into seated mountain pose here. Or you can have your hands here in that hero's pose, okay? And now we're gonna go into cat pose. So what does that mean? We've done this. Slide your hands to your feet. Let your shoulders round. And we're gonna stay here for a few breaths. The shoulders will round, but try to bring them down away from your ears. Your chin curls into the chest. You feel that arc in your spine. And you breathe. And I know it's more constricted here than in any other manner, really, because we're pressing that chin down towards our chest. Take a couple more breaths here in cow pose. So here it says, from a sitting position with your feet flat on the ground, round your back and tuck your chin into your chest, stretching your back. 2 more breaths here in cat. Shoulders pulling away from your ears. Watching your belly expand as you breathe. Very nice. And rise up into that neutralized spine. And we're going to take ourselves into camel. But this time on camel, we're going to take our hands to the chair right behind you. And you can hold on to the chair. Like right now, I'm kind of holding on to where the back of my chair attaches to the seat of my chair, or wherever and however your chair is anatomically built. Find a good grip, okay? Find that straight spine, that long spine. Hold on to wherever you are in that chair, and then let your feet plant into the earth. That's going to lengthen your spine, and then open up through your heart space, taking a look up, shoulders squeeze, and we come into camel here. Okay, so camel isn't so much into letting the neck come back and open. It's really that chest. Feel the difference here with our arms behind us, how open we feel in the front side of our body. You can take more activity into your hands and arms by squeezing in a little bit onto the chair. Take a couple full breaths here. I'll just read what it says on this. And if any of you have children in your life that you might like to get some of these cards for, I mean, I think they're great. Coming to your sitting position with your feet flat on the ground and your legs together. Lift your head, open your chest, squeeze your shoulders, and place your hands on the back of the chair. Gently press your hips forward while shifting your shoulders back, slowly arching your back, look up. And then releasing from that, let's slide our hands forward and come into a cat to reverse that back bend into a forward bend a bit here. And we'll get into more forward bendings here. And then bring yourself back up. Find that neutral spine. Let's just take a break from the cards for a minute and take some shoulder rolls. Okay. Inhale, exhale. And let's take the reverse then. One more big circle there. And then just shake them out a bit. Good. And now we're going to come into seated twist. So keep your feet flat on the ground. Take your hands to the side of your chair, to the seat, or one hand comes up. Sorry, I think Mark left his phone in there and it's ringing. Hand here, nice long spine, and then go ahead and take a look over that back shoulder, coming into this nice twist. Notice how your hands can help with leveraging this to extend a little bit more or lessen the twist. And then slowly release with that long spine. Keep the crown of your head as high as it was when we went and began and we went into the twist. And then we're going to do the opposite. One hand comes to the bottom of your chair. The other hand comes to the back, or maybe both here, all right? And find the length and then find your twist. Seated twist here. You know, people do these and just stay there and breathe a couple times. Check that your spine is straight when we start. Your feet are flat on the ground, twisting the upper body. Okay, it's the same kind of thing we've done before, but I just love that they really get into the details so that people stay safe. And then begin to unwind out of that twist, coming back into forward heroes, or let your hands come down. And then take one hand to the chair or to the leg, and we'll go into a side bend, one arm up, come on down, exhale. And bring yourself up, inhale, and exhale down. The other thing I really like about these cards, inhale up and exhale over, is it really mimics the poses, only modifying them, rise on up, for the chair. And people think that they can't do yoga, you know, and because maybe they have some mobility issues or stability issues, but chair will help release that, and we can still get that nice elongation. Or if you're in a classroom, right, the kids are in that chair. I always got mine out of the chair, because I know how difficult it is to be in that chair for too long. Really lengthen, come on over, exhale. Bring yourself up. Exhale that hand down. And she has lots of breathing techniques too. All kinds of things for holidays. And again, I'm not trying to necessarily promote her, but I really like what she has to offer. We're going to kind of break from the cards for a moment. Take your hands behind you, interlace, press down, lift through that heart space, squeezing shoulders together, press through your feet. Only gaze up if that feels right for you. And lifting the hands away from the base of your spine. If you want a little more opening in the heart and chest area. And exhale, release. Hands come back. Take that time to transition into mountain or hero's pose. Okay. And then we're going to go into extended mountain pose. So I have often called this, and we do that sometimes standing, as upward salute. So that's the other thing too I like about seeing different perspectives, is there's different names for things, right? Just as in language, right? When we lived in Chile, they called avocado palta. You remember that, Josephine? Palta. I never heard of it till I went to Chile. Otherwise, it was always aguacate. right? So let's go ahead, extended mountain pose. Lift your arms up, open up those fingers wide. Feet are pressing into the earth so much that you feel less weight in your sits bones on that chair. Still trying to not let the shoulders rise up, try to pull them down. Extended mountain pose here. Or AKA, I called it upward salute before. Exhale, hands come down. Good. Feel that in the shoulders. Let's lift one shoulder up. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And on a big exhale, let it go. This shoulder pulls up, yeah. Really let it come up there. Let it touch your earlobe. Inhale. Big release. Exhale it out. Good. All right, so extended mountain pose. And now we're going to go into crescent moon pose, half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana in the Sanskrit name. So go ahead and lift your arms up. Inhale, cross your thumbs and make your hands into like prayer position. Okay. From here, again, we're letting those shoulders pull down. If this is a lot on your shoulders, then come into I Dream a Genie kind of thing, okay? So that you're not maybe working into those shoulders as much. So you choose, or maybe you want to have your hands here, okay? Because what we're going to do here is just take our whole body to the side. Before we did this, right? This one is our crescent moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. We do this often in standing. We go from our mountain pose into this place. Weight into your feet. Open up that side body. Lift on up. Inhale. And exhale. Take it over. Trying to let that front shoulder, instead of going this way, try to bring it back just a little bit, okay? And again, if this is a lot, bend it on down, take it right here, okay? One more big inhale here, and let yourself release, exhale. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, let's take it into cactus. I didn't see that at all in our cards that I have here. Open up through your heart. Bring your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Good. And then I'm flipping the card. And we're going to come into something that you all know. And that is eagle pose. All right. And again, nice diagram of eagle pose here, really good description on the back. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's lift our arms up. Inhale, and right arm under left, taking hands here or here or here or here. The one thing you don't really get on these is all the different adaptations, but you guys know enough about that. So my right arm, right, is under my left. I'm going to move my left foot more to the center. I'm going to cross my right leg over. If that is not something that's in your practice, then slide that leg on down, okay? Otherwise, we cross. Maybe some of us double cross, taking the lower part of your shin and ankle and back of the other foot, right? And we're here. And let's press into everything that's touching the other. Okay, so squeezing into the center line of our body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bowing eagle. Take those elbows to your knees. Release your head on down. Rise on up. Inhale. Exhale, let's do that again. Come on down. Releasing head. Rise up. Exhale, release your arms. Let yourself fly up. Touch your elbow, or what are these? Wrists. Push away. Come on down. Well, yesterday we soaked for too long, I think, and didn't have enough water. And when we came in, I just felt like my head was so hot that I fried my brain. So if I'm making a lot of mistakes today, that's going to be my excuse. One more time. Inhale and exhale, releasing on down. Let's release that cross however you had it. Okay. And then rise up. Inhale. Exhale, take the left under the right. This time, find your eagle crossing in the arms. Move your right foot into the center. Take that left leg over. And you could just let it dangle, or maybe you're able to pull it back behind. Don't do anything that's going to upset ankle or knee though, okay? And so just trying to be centered here as much as we can on our sits bones. Rise up with the elbows and the shoulders and the hands, and exhale. Take yourself over into bowing eagle. Rise up. We're going to do this 4 times, so take it with your breath. One more time, and that could have been 4. I don't know. I'm going again. Exhale down. Excellent. Bring yourself up. Release those arms. Whew. Come on up. Touching those wrists. Push away. Exhale. Bring yourself up. Touch and release. 2 more times, please. Inhale, lift. And exhale. You look like the, what is that? Grasshopper, or cricket pose, or no, praying mantis pose. I think it's the one that's something like that. Lift your legs apart and sit up again. Find mountain or find hero's pose, okay? Find the one that feels best to you. And now we're going to go into extended side angle pose. We're going to do it with our legs completely zipped up. If you want to take a block, please do. You do not have to have a block, but if you do, it's just a place for your hand to land. It extends the length of your arm, okay? So I'm going to show you what this pose looks like, and that's what we'll be doing. So it says sit forward in the front of your chair with your feet flat on the ground as your legs and feet are together, right? Zipped up. Tilt your upper body forward, then twist to the right. Okay, so we're lengthening the spine, twist to the right, rest your left elbow on your right knee. Okay, mine might look opposite of what you guys are doing. Lengthen your left hand towards the ground or on that block. Okay, and then look up and reach your right arm straight up to the sky. So I love the specificness of the directions here. So here I am, first long spine, lengthen, take the twist, hand down, other arm reaches up. And again, maybe I'm here, or maybe I'm on my hip. The reason she probably doesn't show a lot of those is because little children are like rubber bands, and they can twist and move a lot more freely than some of us are moving these days, right? But hey, we're still moving. So arm up or on your shoulder or on your hip. This is this twist, extended side angle twist. And then we're going to reverse out of it the way we came into it. Long spine, lift, and then send ourselves back forward. Okay, so you already feel like, oh, I'm kind of one-sided right now because you just did one side. You got to do the other. So let's bring our body weight forward. Let's take that elbow towards knee or thigh of your right hand or arm, or the opposite of whatever you just did. My block's right there. I'm going to let that hand come to the block or come to any place, maybe to the side of my leg. Maybe I just stay right here, okay? And I don't bother to extend that arm, because when I do, that takes me into more of a twist. Maybe you don't want to go there, okay? And then from here, hand to hip, open up the door of your heart to the left. Keep those legs squeezed together. Keep your spine nice and long, and only lifting that arm up if that feels right to you, okay? Squeeze legs, arms lift. Breathing. Hand to hip. Reverse out of it with a long spine. Take yourself out of that twist slowly, okay? Let's take our arms up to the side. Let's just take some paddles here. And again, if the shoulders say no, then take that really a shorter, little less big circles. That's how my brain is, less big circles. Go around the other way if you want. Really, I was trying to take a nap after that, but it's just my head was just so hot. So we learned our lesson today. We soaked in a much cooler, still warm, but a cooler temperature. All right, find yourself shaking out whatever you need to, and find yourself in this mountain pose, nice long spine, or assisting by placing hands on your thighs. Okay, now we're going to come into child's pose. And again, you can have your blocks here to help support that. I'm going to have my feet about hips distance. Child's pose is a head lower than the heart pose. You do not need to come this low, okay? Only if your body says yes to that. Otherwise, you're going to stay right here with a flat spine, okay? So let's start in our straight spine. Bring your body weight forward. Your hands can come to blocks, okay? Keep that spine straight for as long as you can. When you feel, and only if you feel, you want to take your entire chest to your thighs. Go ahead. Only if you feel you want to. Let your heavy head release, crown towards the ground. You're going to feel a release in the back of your neck. You're going to find your navel and make sure that you're supporting yourself with a good, strong core here in this forward fold, in this child's pose where we just really release ourselves downward. Slowly lift your head up. Come to a flat spine if you lowered your head. Okay, otherwise you stay really sturdy and strong in that half. Lift, hands come back to your thighs, sit up straight and tall. Hands can come down, facing forward, or they can face inward. Take a couple breaths for transitioning here. And I ordered these cards so we wouldn't be up and down and in and out. I tried to put them in a way that made sense. Let's go and extend our legs because we're going to come into a forward bend here, okay? So again, this now is to open up the back side of the legs, and we're still on the chair, but we're going to forward bend. And again, this can be done on the ground. You know, some of you may want to do this. This can be done in bed if you'd like to. Okay, so legs are extended. You are going to not take your knees and lock them, okay? You want to have support with all the muscles around your knees, and you have a little tiny bend in those knees, okay? So we're not hyperextending. And then I'm going to take that straight long spine again. Walk my hands down my legs, but not pressing on your knees. Maybe you take your hands to your blocks. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to help support so that all my weight doesn't just shift forward, right? Stay with long legs, stay with a straight spine, walk your hands forward only if that is something that's saying, yes, I need a little more opening in the back of my spine and my legs. Keeping everything as long as we can. Taking our gaze straight, angle downward so that we're not raising ourselves and compressing into the lower part of our neck, okay? Feel that stretch and that opening in the back side of your legs. And then bring yourself up, torso lifts into a straight spine. Hands come back to the legs to help shift my body weight back up into straight spine. Bend the knees so that the knees and the ankles line up again, and knees and hips line up, coming back into heroes or mountain pose in between each thing also helps us to reset the spine, reset our alignment of our joints, okay? All right, now we're gonna go into warrior one pose. All right, so take your leg over, and we did this, I think, the other day. We went through all the warriors, I believe, but we're going to do warrior one here, and we're going to add a few pieces to what the card says. But see, this should look pretty familiar to you, right? That back leg, some of us bend and just put it in front of us. Otherwise, you can take it and send it back, okay? So warrior one. And again, another really great description on the back of that. I'm gonna have a block forward in case I may need it. I'm going to go ahead and this way, okay? Knee forward, foot forward. That may be what some of you want to stay with. Otherwise, take your foot back and have it kind of at an angle. So it's gonna be a good stretch in your calf. It's a good stretch for your ankle and your foot. And your hips are a little bit angled out, right? Where they're not both forward. But my shoulders are, okay? So I let my shoulders come forward. And I look down at that front foot and I see the ankle and the knee are lining up into my hip on that side. And then if your arms allow, go ahead and lift them up into this beautiful expression of Virabhadrasana one, warrior one. This can be done standing if any of you feel like standing here, okay? And let's find our breath, lengthening the side of our body on our inhale. And then on an exhale, pull down into cactus arms. I can't do it much on the one side because I've got a big tall chair on the back side there. Raise on up. And then take the hand of the leg that's behind you. Take it down, slide it down that leg, and let your heart come up. Your upper arm come back and look up and feel this exaltedness right here in this warrior one. And then I'm going to slide that back hand back up along my body, maybe send it up. Nice inhale and exhale. Another big inhale. And then my other hand is going to come, the one that's by the back of the chair, it's going to come down onto the chair seat. And I'm going to press down there. And I'm going to look up again, exalting again. This time, opposite arm is back and down. The other one is up, long, above you. And then back to a straight spine. Both arms lift, inhale. And exhale, take hands to heart center here, okay? And from here, take a little twist into the angle of the space between our legs. And I'm just going to take my elbow down to my thigh. And I'm going to come into this prayerful position here. Staying right here, all right? Only if you want, you can open up that wingspan. And breathe. Go ahead and take the hands back to heart center and slowly lifting up. Taking your torso back forward and lift those arms up, inhale. And exhale, hands come down. And let's find the other side. And we're going to express ourselves through all those different warrior one positions on the other side. I like these, look at these cool green chairs. I just love all the colors that they have here. But believe me, it's kind of funky here, you know? So if you like things that are really totally clean and everything's really nice, you probably want to stay at Riverbend or at Sierra Grande. They're more expensive, but they are also very, very clean and very nice. All right, they don't have all the great colors though that this place has. All right, front knee, get it aligned, back leg, this leg, you're either lining it up here or you're gonna take it back. All right, and I'm gonna take my back because that's how I did the other side. So please try to mimic one side and the other. All right, and if we don't finish all these cards, and I don't think we will today, we will pick up where we left off. Okay, so let's go ahead and have that angled ankle and foot, and our torso forward. Take the arms on up, inhale. And let's take some breaths here where we really feel the separation of our ribs, our rib cage, as we inhale. And trying to keep that length even when we exhale. Pressing into both feet evenly. Let's let the outside hand come down that outside extended leg, and the other arm lifts up into the beautiful expression of this exalted warrior one. Breath or two here. And lifting straight up, other arm comes up, inhale. Back hand, or the one closest to the chair, comes on down, weights itself into the chair behind you, feeling the opening of that shoulder there, and then you release up, press into the feet to let yourself rise up a little bit more in this exaltedness. Beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous, rising up. And lift the other arm up, inhale. And pull it into cactus if you can, depends on the height of the back of your chair. Rise on up, inhale. And then exhale, take your hands behind you, interlace, squeeze, press, open, heart here. And breathe. And lifting ourselves up, releasing hands, rise up. And exhale, hands come into heart center again, okay? And then we take our twist to this open area between our legs. And then we let our elbow come down to our thigh, towards our knee, wherever it lands. And then let our heart open up a bit here, pressing into both feet. More weight's going to seem to come into the front, so press into that leg and foot that's behind you. Only if you want, open up here. And breathe. Good. Nice wingspan. Take your hands together. Catch yourself, weight it into your feet to help lift your upper body up. And release your hands, arms lift one more time, inhale. And exhale, hands come down. And then bring yourself forward back into one of those neutralizing places, hero's pose or mountain pose. Take a couple breaths here. Good. And then we're going to go to knees to chest pose. Okay. And that doesn't mean we have to take and bite our knees. Okay. They don't have to come up that high. And this one's not that high really. And you can see she's supporting herself with her hand underneath her thigh. Okay. So knees to chest. Sit tall on your chair with your feet flat on the ground. Bend your right knee and hug it close to your chest. Then place it down and switch. So really good, easy instructions, right? So let's go ahead. Either take one or both hands here and lift. You can flex into your foot or you can point. Maybe this would be a good place for all of us to do some ankle rotations here. And your foot may be really low, okay? Doesn't matter. Where you go is where your body says yes to, Okay, please, 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 because I love it when you guys are here and I want you to stay healthy, okay? And we all have little things going on in our bodies that we need to attend to, right? And then from here, let's just let that leg tangle and dangle and move around, right? So there's no flex, there's no pointed, it's just going to be happy and released here. Yet, we are using our chest muscles and our arm muscles to keep that heavy leg up. Good. Maybe take another hug in, maybe come around and really hug into knee and forehead coming close together. That might be for some of us, it might not be for others. And then go ahead and let that leg come down. Before we go, find your neutral position of your spine. Everything stacked. And then lift the other foot off the ground. Hands come underneath. And if you are using hands, cross the opposite thumb on top with that grip, okay? And begin by flexing or pointing into your foot and however high your knee wants to go, and then take some circles there. And reversing. So we can use our own body as a weight, right? And this is our weight right now that we're lifting up instead of like little hand weights. We're using our knee, our whole leg, left leg, and I wonder how much that weighs, right? And we are lifting it up with the power of our chest muscles and our arm muscles. And then let's let that leg go. This is good for the knee too, to just let it release and not feel like it has to do anything, but just wave around. Good, and then maybe bringing it up a little bit more, maybe flexing, maybe curl, tuck, and rounding. And then bringing ourselves back up. Let's let that foot come down. Let's find ourselves in that neutral place. A couple breaths. And now we're going to go to pigeon pose. And we've all done that before. It's this figure 4 position, right? It's a figure 4 where we're going to take our ankle right behind our knee. If that's not appropriate, then that foot comes down in front of your shin, okay? So let's keep one foot grounded. The other starts to open up this hip. We can be right at our shin, our ankle, or up higher, or we lift it up here, okay? You will feel it more right in here, the higher that leg goes. And you won't feel it as much if I let my foot just go flippy floppy. But if I want to feel it more, and again, want to, right? Want to. If you want, then you can flex into this foot. You're going to feel it more right there. And as our body, again, is weighted down into our hip and our leg is externally rotated, we're going to feel this a little bit more. Let's do a little bit of rowing here. Keep your hands on your shin. Pull your elbows back towards you. Let your weight come forward. And then curl, tuck, round. Let yourself come back, shoulders pull down, lift up, bring it forward, exhale. Take it back on an inhale. Exhale, takes it forward. One more time. And bring yourself forward. And take yourself up, inhale. Good. And then let's go ahead and switch those legs out into pigeon on the other side. So pigeon can also be done if you're laying in bed and you just bend a knee and take your ankle again here in this position. This is a good thing to do, to lay down and do reclined pigeon. And if you're doing that, you can sway your legs left and right a little bit too and get into the waist. And again, you want to have your foot not doing anything or flex it. You're going to feel it more right in there, okay? It really changes the amount of energy that's going into that hip. And that's what pigeon's about. Pigeon's about externally rotating. It's about getting into that hip in an area we don't generally get to. Let's go ahead and do some rowing. Pull your elbows towards your hips. Curl, tuck around, let yourself come back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, one more round. Take yourself forward. Good. And bring yourself up. Release that leg. And again, maybe some of you just kept it lower. However it works for you, please make it work for you. Okay, not work against you. We don't want that. Sitting up straight and tall, take another couple breaths. Then we're going to get ourselves out of the chair a bit, only for those that want to. You don't have to, okay? So we're going to come into chair pose, right? So here we are. Let's take those arms up. You can stay right here, or you can let your body come farther forward, and you can let yourself come out of the chair. This is too much with the arms going that way. Take them here, or take them here. You are getting a lot of strength building by getting ourselves, our seat off of the seat, right? Take your hands in whatever place feels right for you. Traditionally, chair is done. Ardha Uttanasana with our arms up here does not have to be, okay? I'm not one of those purists. I want your bodies to be true and pure to yourself. Go ahead and place your seat back on the seat. If you lifted, take your hands back into heroes or release down into mountain pose. Good. And now we're going to go ahead into warrior two. I think all of you are able, and if you want to do warrior two out of your chair, okay? If you don't, then you don't have to. This is how you'll set up if you're going to stay in the chair. One leg stays bent, the other one comes over, and we open up ourselves like that, okay? And then you'll just do what we're going to do. But otherwise, you can come to standing, and we're going to work on warrior two in a standing position, okay? Or seated. You guys choose, right? What's best for you, please. All right, I'm going to take, and one foot is going to be parallel to, well, I'm on a mat, you guys aren't, but toes facing forward. How's that? This way. And then the other toes are going to face that way. Okay, you guys got it? These toes here, these toes that way. All right. And so right now my legs aren't bent. I'm going to go ahead and open up my arms. I'm going to make sure I've got my legs in the position that are right for me. If you're standing, if not, you're already set up. I'm going to bend into this front knee. And I'm going to have the knee and the ankle finding their alignment, just as if I'm in the chair. Okay, so take it to the chair if you want. From here, we're going to go ahead and dance a little bit. If you're in the chair, you're going to do the same thing, only your legs going to slide out and be long. Okay, inhale, exhale. Nice. Inhale and exhale. When we go into that exhale, try to have your knee and your ankle still lined up so that we're not bypassing the ankle with our knee. Good. Let's do two more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale it down. Let's take a look over that front arm, and let's take 3 or 4 breaths here, being really strong. If this is a lot for your arms, take them to your waist. If it's a lot and you're standing, go back to seated in the chair. We're just going to take 2 more breaths here. Feeling that strength of our warrior spirits. Straighten that front leg. Let your arms come down. If you're seated in the chair, you're going to turn that other leg over the chair. Otherwise, we're coming into the opposite alignment and setup for our feet if we're standing, right? So my other toes are facing in the opposite direction, just like you are if you're in the chair. These toes are facing that way, these that way, okay? And then I separate the feet to the place that feels right for me, begin to bend into the front knee, and that will let me know how much I need to separate those feet in length and width, okay, if, again, you're standing. And the other way to do this is kind of fun, is to take the chair underneath this thigh, and you are totally supported by that chair still, but you're getting that lengthening in the legs, all right? So that's another way to do it. I think we've done that before as well. So seated warrior two, or half seated warrior two, or standing warrior two. Here we are, let's dance. Inhale. And if you're seated, just slide that leg out or just move your arms. Here we're just lengthening and we're exhaling here. Inhale. And exhale. And palm trees growing out of my head. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Exhale it down. Take our gaze over that front arm. Fingers open up wide, sending energy out in all the directions that they're able to go with that distance that they're able to make one between the other. 2 more breaths here. Good. Hands on hips, lengthen that leg, and toes come back forward. And let's take a stand in mountain or sit in mountain, okay? Hero's pose that's not in a chair is definitely not standing. Hero's pose that's not in a chair is really tough on the knees. So, but mountain pose standing is really good for any and all of us to do that. The seated hero's pose, you're sitting with your haunches on your heels and you're on your shins, and it's really tough on the knees. But this isn't. So stand and breathe a couple times here in mountain pose. Okay. And since we're standing, well, no, we're not, because we'll have 2 more minutes. But we got more cards to do the next time, and there's a lot of really fun things. So let's go ahead and sit back in the chair, okay? Thanks for letting me play with these cards today. And I think I'm gonna start doing some children's classes. Probably won't be through Vessel Health because we don't really have a lot of children that go to Vessel Health, but I would love to, be more playful with the experience. So anyways, have a seat, let's have some breaths, find a mountain, or sit back in your chair and take it a little bit more restful into hero's pose. It's nice we did that really strong one at the end. You guys were ready for that. You're all yogis. Don't belittle the fact that we do our yoga in a chair. You guys are doing everything that you can do, pretty much that we're not standing on our heads, okay, granted, right? But pretty much everything else we do, just do that with those adaptations of using the chair. Slide your hands down, lift them up, inhale. Exhale, hands come into heart center. And we greet each other. This is what I kind of miss when we were in person and there was